morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch and crochet, but also other crafts that I enjoy occasionally and a little bit of life thrown in. So today is Sunday, January 26th. It's FlossTube number 269. I want to say welcome. If this is your first time finding my channel, I hope that you like what you see, want to stick around, hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have a super thanks button if you're so inclined. And if this is not your first time finding my channel, if you are one of my viewers that comes back every week, thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is definitely a highlight of each and every week. So, as I said, today is Sunday, January 26th, so this is going to be the last FlossTube that goes up in January, even though we have, you know, a whole week left, but 31st is Saturday, right? Yeah, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. I don't know, the 1st is Saturday, so yeah. So next time I come back, it'll be February, so I will go for some of my February plans and everything. There's a Delilah sighting. You guys are like, 5 minutes ago, she was running around like bat out of hell. I mean, she was just flying around this room. Right now, she is being relatively calm. She continues to be a joy. You want to come here? Come here. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh. She's getting bigger. Look at how big this thing is. But she is, she's definitely in her teenage years. We started letting her into the living room in the evening when I'm home. So she, you know, can go into the living room and the kitchen with the dog. They're so interested in each other, but they still haven't actually like touched or played or anything like that. She definitely stalks him, and she gets to points where she looks like she's gonna jump on him, but then she chickens out. And he gets all excited and kind of does his little hop at her, and then she backs up. But it's pretty funny. But I'm sure soon they are going to be playing together and having a little bit more interactions. But for right now, they're just kind of existing in the same space, which is good. That's exactly what you want. However, since we did let her into that area, now she expects it. So when I come home in the evening and I come in and feed her and the gate's still up, as soon as she finishes eating, she's like yelling at the gate, like, hey, I'm supposed to be able to go out into the living room now. All right, let's not play with that. Let's not and say we did. But yeah, so she is feeling her way in the world. We're supposed to have some rain today, so I think that's gonna be interesting, because if it happens during the day when she can see it, I don't think that she's ever really seen rain. And as you guys know, she loves like sitting there looking out the windows. Yesterday there was like a little mini flock, meaning like 3 birds that were laid down right in her view. No. All right, this was a bad idea. You go over here. There was a little 3 birds that were twitting around and fighting right in front of her, and oh, she was excited. She was very excited, because I don't know that she hasn't seen that when I was there watching her. I mean, I'm sure she has seen birds and stuff, but yeah, she's such a good girl. Okay, so I do not have any crochet to show you this week, really. I worked a little bit on both of the, you know, projects that I'm working on, but you know, nothing exciting enough to show you. So let's go on to cross stitch, because I do have something very exciting to show you, which of course you know because of the title. But I have my first finish of 2025. Ta-da! I finished Country Garden Counted Canvas. This is it's a chart from Nancy's Needles. So the company is called From Nancy's Needles. And I changed colors. This background color, this pink that I chose, was like a beaver gray or something in the original. And then the main variegated color is a different one, because I just used something that I already had in my stash. Other than that, it was all the called for. And I did add this little bit of border at the edge because the chart is like 10.5 or 10 and yeah, it's just a little bit, it's over 10, under 11. And so to put it into a frame, if I got an 11-inch square frame, there's going to be like that weird edge. So that's why I put a little bit extra stitching. And then I actually happen to have a frame. It's just a plain, very plain little thin gold frame. Kip, who is my friend who passed away that I moved in with Lorraine after Kip passed. I got Kip into diamond painting. So she was an avid diamond painter. So she did like a lot of us do. She would buy, you know, frames on sale and just keep them for when, you know, she had a project. So there was a stack of frames in the closet and Lorraine and I went through them as I was like finishing this, and there happened to be an 11 by 11 frame. So perfect. So I'm gonna just pop this in there. But I want to show it to you intact before I cut the canvas. So yay, I'm really excited. My first finish for 2025. I get to add that to my description box. And this is just a really pretty chart. Now for some reason, I don't know why. I mean, I love doing count and canvas and usually I fly through them. This one I did not fly through. This one was a little bit more of a struggle bus, and I think it might have to do with the fact that just the individual little spaces are smaller, the stitches are shorter. I don't know, this one was a struggle bus. The other ones I've done, I flew through. This one took me, you know, over a year, so, but it's done now. Okay, so that was finished. Whips. Now I did work on that several days because when I got to the point where, okay, I'm going to finish it, I wanted to finish it. So that took up some of my time that, you know, for working on other whips. But I did do a bit more on my Optical Illusion. And yeah, so that's just going to continue to grow. I think it might get set aside for a while because it doesn't really fit in the next month, and I have a lot, you know, I have ambitious plans for February, but I don't know, but I enjoy this. It's kind of mindless, so it's a good thing to work on when I'm not really feeling like working on anything. And I do want to get it done because I really like it, and I'm excited to see the colors grow. And I do have some other like Optical Illusion sort of patterns that I want to do. And I think for all of them, I'm going to use the Etoile and plastic canvas. I think that'll be kind of like a cute little series. Okay. I worked on Mini Flower Kitty. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Jeremiah Kentner. And I'm doing this on 28 count, 2/110. Now, you guys have been watching me well know that I stitch full coverage in the diagonal. And one thing about stitching on the diagonal that kind of, I don't know if it's a bummer or whatever, but you know, people who do full coverage oftentimes will be like, I have a page finished, because they're doing it, you know, by page or whatever. And so that's a way to judge, you know, how far you've gotten. And when you're stitching on the diagonal, it's not as easy to do that, obviously, because you're going over multiple pages in your diagonals. However, let me see how many pages this is. Yeah, I think this is just 12 pages, this chart. But I did want to show you page 1. You're not going to really be able to see anything, but you can see my mark offs here, and I'm down that's all that's left on page 1. Now, obviously, I've worked on other pages, you know. I think there's 4 pages that are going now when you get through the diagonal, but I am almost actually done with a full page, which is kind of exciting. And there I am. Now this particular project, I love it, but it does not go fast because it is extremely confetti heavy. I mean, you can just see by the part threads that, yeah, it's pretty confetti heavy. So it doesn't go super fast. So I work on it a couple hours and it's like I'll get, you know, a teeny bit done. But it's actually, you know, over 100 stitches. Well, over 100. And I love this one. I love seeing the watercoloriness of it, and every time I get into a patch of a different color, I find that kind of exciting. So I really enjoy working on this one. Okay. I worked on this rose needlepoint. Oh, wonderful. My zipper pull tab just. Oh no. Yep. Okay, so this is Rose Tapestry by Collection d'Art. And just did a little bit more. I think mostly what I did was the white background. So, and then I think I maybe did these leaves that weren't done before, but I'm not sure. And it's just needlepoint, regular needlepoint. Okay, this is Rose and Sweet Cherry by Riolis. Now, when I bought this, I did not realize it was a full coverage. I thought it was like on like black Aida or something, and you know, I mean, if you look at this picture, you can see, but you know, online, when you're just looking at the pictures online, I just thought it was a dark fabric, but no, it is a full coverage. So you're stitching the background, it's all blends. And I made the fabric smaller than what was called for. So it's tight, but it looks really lush and pretty. I worked on the background. Okay, I worked on Pinky and Blue Boy. Last time I worked on this, I worked on Blue Boy, and so this time I worked on Pinky. Pinky Blue Boy. Started by Artisy. You know, Grandmaster Works. Pinky is Sir Thomas Lawrence. And Blue Boy is Thomas Gainsborough. So I started at the top of the diagonal, so actually I got quite a bit done last night. mean, I realize it doesn't look like anything yet. It's just background. And then just as a reminder, there's Blue Boy. So I've actually hit his head. And I am stitching these on the same piece of fabric, but, and that's basically because I want them to grow at the same rate. I consider them sort of like one project, even though it's two separate charts, and they'll be cut apart when they're done and framed separately, but I kind of want them to grow together. And then the last project that I worked on was Laurel Birch Cat Collage, which is a kit by Designworks. I did take this out of sort of the Q snappy type thing I had it in because it was hurting my hands, but it's funny, I consider this full coverage even though there's a bit at the top that isn't stitched, but I stitch it completely differently. So just the way the design is, I tend to stitch it what I call like coloring book style. So I'll do all of the outliney stuff in the black to, you know, outline the cat, and then I fill in, I do all the back stitch, because the back stitch is what makes everything come alive. You have to do the back stitch to make them not look crazy. I mean, they look crazy anyway because that's the style, but so yeah, so I did all of this part and this black outline at the bottom. And that is my stitching for this past week. So, because next time I see you guys, it's gonna already be February. I'll be in February for 2 days. I'm gonna go ahead and show you, excuse me, my February projects later. I mean, I will still obviously continue to stitch on my January projects for the next 5 days. The only full coverage that was on my list this January that I didn't get to was Let Sleeping Dragons Lie, and I might try and work on it today. It's just because it's a bigger project, I'm still not 100% sure how I'm comfortable stitching it in my new setup and my new just way of doing things. So that's its only issue, but I might try and work on it today because I don't know, during the day it's just easier. Okay, last week I said I had no haul, and I did, but I forgot to show you guys. So what I got is something for this project, Current Mood, which isn't coming out again until, I think it's coming out in April. So this is from the spring Just Cross Stitch magazine. I started with a bunch of other FlossTubers and Instagrammers. Laura Stitching by the Shore is working on it. And everybody's doing it differently. So she's doing it sort of as in a primary color, like melted crayon is what she calls it, sort of look like a melted crayon art. Tabby, Sisk, Glitter Dove Fairy on Instagram, I think she did hers also in primary. I can't 100% remember. And then she charted a little dog to go by the girl. And I'm doing it in blendable, silky blendables, which are variegated for the rain. And yeah, so I'm doing it on silky. And I, after Baggy passed away, I was talking to Debbie, and she was like, you know, maybe you should chart a cat to go next to the girl. And I was like, yeah, I thought about doing that. I think that's a good idea. And then the more I thought about it, it's like, the idea of charting something was just like sticking in my brain. It's like that it's gonna be too hard. It's like, this is really small. It's not gonna be a lot of space. So I was like, what else could I do to kind of get that idea across? Oops. Hold on, I just dropped a magnet. Okay. So what I did is I went online and I thought, okay, I would like to have a baggie there, but then I have Delilah now and she is important to me too. So what can I do? So I thought, well, I'll get a bigger cat, you know, like I could do a bigger cat with like maybe angel wings and then a smaller cat. But again, the idea of charting this is just driving me nuts. I was like, I can't do that. I don't want to do it. It's going to make me not want to do the project. So I went online and I found 2 pairs of very inexpensive earrings. I know, earrings, weird, huh? But I'm going to take these off of the earring and I'm going to sew these onto the thing. And actually I'm going to do the other one. So this is the ones that I got to represent baggy. And I'm going to, and they're big, I realize, comparatively to, but I don't care. So that's going to be the baggy cat. And if I can figure out a way to like kind of stitch some wing or something to kind of represent the fact that, you know, he's not with me anymore. And then next to him will be this. And I got this specifically, I got the bigger ones in black, and I specifically got these in like a rose gold so that it would show she's a tabby. I'm able to see. So I'm going to have these 2 kitties on this chart down at the bottom. I mean, obviously I'm going to take them off the findings and just sew them on. They're both like outliney ones, so it'll be easy to sew on. And I realized, like I said, the black ones are big compared to the picture. But I don't mind that because he was a giant cat anyway, and I think it's okay to have it big and show just how important he was to me and everything. So I forgot to show you those last week. And again, these were very inexpensive earrings. They're like $5 earrings. So but I don't know, I'm really happy with that idea as opposed to trying to create a pattern that would just kind of look, I think, like a blob. So, okay, so that was actually haul from last week. This week I don't really have anything. I did get the magazines from 123 Stitch, but they sent the wrong one. So I got the 2, the Christmas ornament and the Halloween ornament ones, but then the one I was missing was the winter 2024 that came out like last month. That's one I didn't get, and they sent me the autumn 2024, which I did get. So I sent them another message and hopefully they will fix that. Okay. On to let's see, giveaways. Let's do giveaways. So I still haven't heard from 2 of the people that were, you know, the 2 previous weeks. I still haven't heard from Sherry Eccles who won Creatures, the Night Creatures. And I haven't heard from Rhonda Wise, who last week won the magazine. So I still need to hear from you guys. I'm gonna announce today's winners, and then I'm gonna do one more because for January, and then I'm be done. So if I don't hear from anybody by like next week or whatever, I'm gonna stop worrying about it, and eventually there'll be a giveaway at another time. Okay, so the two giveaways that I had last week were Needle Necessities flosses. These are now Threadworks, or Threadworks took over or bought Needle Necessities. I don't know exactly the thing. So these are old stock. They're 20 yard skeins, so it's 100 yards of floss that was given away. And I had 2 palettes. I had a spring palette and a fall palette. And so the person who won the fall palette is Kathy Mayfield. And the person who won the spring palette is Red Hat Stamper. So I need to hear from the two of you, please, so I can stick these in an envelope with a stamp and send them to you this week. Okay, and then, since, you know, again, the last week of January, so let's do a giveaway every week of January, because I just finished it. I will be giving away the Country Garden Counted Canvas Floral Quilt Series from Nancy's Needles. So if you've never worked on a counted canvas before, this will be something new. You do it on a needlepoint canvas, a mesh. It uses okay, so it calls for a 15 by 15 number 18 sandstone mono canvas, stretcher bars, and tacks and tapestry needle. The threads that it uses 3 colors of Caron Collection watercolors, which are, I love the watercolors, so. These are the watercolors. It's a 3-strand cotton. So you take off 1 strand out of the 3. But this is the stuff that gives it that it has a really nice sheen. And then it also uses DMC Pro Cotton. That's what I changed this color. Originally it was Beaver Gray. Those are all easy to find. It does use Rainbow Gallery Gold Rush. I don't think there's a problem getting Gold Rush. What's this? And then it does call for Caron Collection Snow in Mango. That you may have trouble getting. I was actually gifted this because I was going to have to use something else. And I would say I would give this to you guys, but I don't think it's going to be enough to do the whole chart, so that would be a problem. I think that it wouldn't be enough. So if you cannot find this, then I would say just get another Gold Rush, because it's basically the same kind of chain knit construction. But basically anything, it does have a bit of sparkle to it. And you just need to find something in that sort of orangey mango color. Or if you change all your colors, something completely different. Anyway, so say garden if you would like to get this chart, and please be in the US, because I'm just going to put it in a regular envelope with regular postage. Okay. Okay, Okay, that brings us to plans for February. As I said, I am being a bit ambitious with my February plans. In that I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 charts that I have on my, you know, to be stitched list. February is my Fabulous Florals month theme. So yeah, I'm being a little bit ambitious, so I don't know if I will actually get to all of these. Hopefully I will touch them all at least once. My goal, like finishing goal, is I really would like to finish Purple Allium. Which is this one. Purple Allium by Riolis. I would really like to get that done, and let's see. I don't know. I'm at a reasonable point where I could possibly get it done, or close at least. So this tends to go pretty fast too. So. Okay, then the other things on my list. Well, first of all, I'm going to start lemon juice. This is for my February Be My Own Valentine Sal. I would love any of you who want to join in on this. You know, go ahead and stitch a project with a bee. I'm very horrible about like posting stuff on Instagram. I always forget, and then I realize like, oh, maybe I posted the start and then I didn't post anything else. But it's still fun to stitch with other people, and you know. So I tell this story every year, so forgive me if you've heard it before, but you know, I think it bears repeating. The reason I do a Be My Own Valentine Sal, and I don't know if I said this in the last video or just recently, but I'll try and make it quick. When I first got divorced is when I started stitching, usually after that. And when I first started stitching, as you know, there's a lot of like motifs that are very common in cross stitch, and one of them is bee patterns. Bee patterns were really popular, and it was really hard for me to see all these bee patterns because my husband had been an amateur beekeeper for a while, and I helped him, and it was one of those like really fun good memory parts of our marriage, and it just made me sad to see all these bee patterns. And then I got over it with a chart that just really spoke to me, that was a bee chart. I probably should pull that out, but it's on the walls in the kitchen. And I realized like I need to be my own love, regardless of romantic ties, regardless of what's going on in that part of my life. I still have to love myself and be my own Valentine. So I thought Valentine's Day was a great day to remind myself that, and so the bee and the Be My Own Valentine just kind of went together, and so now I stitch on a bee pattern every year, and I've done bigger ones and I've done smaller ones. Last year I did 2 little things, and I like it. I don't stitch on a lot of bee stuff, but you know, I do it in February. So, and this, I just love this. I have no idea if this is going to be kind of a fast project or not. This is, you know, it's not that big. It's, I mean, this is the size of the hoop. So, it's not going to be that big, but, there's 22 colors in it. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to start this. That's my new start for February. Then I will also be continuing to work on the rose tapestry that I showed you guys. And then the other thing that I'm going to be working on that isn't exactly cross stitch is, I thought this would be a good month to pull out my Jiffy Stitchery moon window. This is Crewel Embroidery. This is a very, very old kit from the 70s. I had these kits back then when I was like in my preteen days and never finished any of them. And I found them on eBay. I found 3 of the 4, so I haven't been able to find the 4th one. So I'm still on the lookout for that, but the 3 I have is the sun window, which is what I'm going to be working on, the poppy window, and the hummingbird window, and I'm missing the butterfly window. So I hope eventually I'll be able to find that without it being, you know, a fortune. Yeah, but it's Crewel Embroidery. When I was a kid, I thought this stuff was like so hard to do, and then when I sat down and did this, I did it all in one evening, and it was like, oh, this is fun. So yeah, so I'll be working on that. Okay, then I will be working on my dandelions charts, which these are free charts from Little Room in the Attic, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Little Room in the Attic. These are artwork by Lauren Dawson, and the 2 charts, but I'm gonna put them together. So this one is called Dandelion, and this one is called Dandelion's Family. This is on a piece of 25 count Opal Sky by Stitch Me. And that's how much I have done. Oh, this is something I just started at the end of the year after Miss Delilah came into my life. This is a DesignWorks kit called Orchid Kitty. I'm not going to give up Stitch and Black Cat, but now I add in the tabbies, right? And I'm doing this, of course I changed up the fabric. This is just a piece of Aida from Amazon. That is like printed. I'm going to be working on my chatelaine, my green lace garden mandala. This is the terrible printed picture. And this is the not terrible actual thing. Yeah, this is very addictive. When you start working on a chatelaine, it's hard to put down, at least for me. But sometimes it's hard to pick up too, because it is like kind of a lot. Oh, don't fall, please. What is this? I'll just put that in there. Autumn Equinox Pixie. I keep thinking she's like really close to finish. She's not that close, but her whole top half is done. on her next month. And mouth of the flower. But Octavio Ocampo. I'm not going to pull this one out. I have this much done on it. So you'll see that next month. And the Vein for These Times, which is a Long Dog sampler. And I'm doing this on 20 count opal Aida, white Aida with sulky. 2 sulkies, a blendable and then a solid. And then, last but not least, I'm going to work on, oh wait, one more. Little Snapdragon. This is by Custom Crafts Inc. Julie, Stitching at the Cabin, is stitching this as well, and she pulled it out in her whip parade, and she said, like, she doesn't think it's available anymore. I don't know. I haven't looked for it. But that's how far I am. Okay, then, now, last but not least, I am going to work on Ella the Frog Princess. Maybe I can get her done. So, I told you guys that I was going to kind of do a truncated version of her, because I don't want to stitch this big yellow dress that I don't love the colors. And I ordered a hoop. This kind. Okay, I can't put my hands on it. I ordered the, the rubberized, looks like wood, but it's rubber hoop. It's supposed to be 12 inches. I get it, it's this little 6-inch thing. So they obviously sent me the wrong thing. But then I was going through my stash, let's work from stash. And I have this hoop that I bought, these square or squared off ovals or whatever you want to call them when I first started stitching, and they're horrible. They're horrible for stitching. But I've used them all the different sizes as finishing pieces for a lot of my stuff. And I thought, hey, do I still have one of those? And I do, and it's yellow and it would look good. All I have to do is do something here. And I think what I might do, so this is how far I am on her. So I think what I might do is stitch, once I get her finished to whatever level she's gonna be, I think I might stitch like this flower again, like separately, and then do it as like just a little, ornament kind of thing and put it over that. But this is going to, I have to measure exactly and whatever, but it's gonna fit fine. And then I think I'm gonna bring up the color, the flowers, to the bottom, to whatever the bottom is. And then I'll just cut it off. I don't know if it's hard to hold, but I think you guys get the idea of what I'm doing. So basically that's all it's gonna be. So all I have to do is finish whatever's gonna fit in here. And I'm going to move these these flowers like up if I have to where they're like this. I don't know, does that make sense? Or I may even take these flowers down here and move them up too. I don't know. But so I'm gonna have even more color down at the bottom and not worry so much about the dress. Because she's basically finished up here except for her arms and the beading. So it's just this area right in here that's gonna have to be completed. So yeah, so I have a little work to do to prep it and figure out how I'm gonna do it exactly, but this is what I'm gonna use, this is the size. And then, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it out upside down. And then I'm going to take a pencil and actually write on the fabric around this because I can see where the stitching is obviously on the back. And then I'm going to take a fishing line or something like that and actually do that outline so I know what I need to stay within and then take it from there. So that's my plan for that. And I think I'm going to be way thrilled to get that done even in that truncated fashion. She's gonna be beautiful and I don't need to stitch this like huge yellow dress that doesn't bring me joy. So I think that is all my plans for February. So I'm be starting that, you know, next weekend, probably early because I'm always like that. I get antsy to get to the new projects and I've stitched on the other projects several times. So I'm like, you know, sick of them. I mean, not really, not forever, but just for right now. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be working on. I think that was everything that I needed to show you guys. Yeah. So, those of you that have, you know, your names were called as far as the floss or the giveaways, don't say giveaway, don't say gift, don't say, you know, don't say all the words. But please get a hold of me so that I can get these things out to you. And until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla saying bye-bye. And hopefully I won't be having to sit here wait for this thing to go off. Bye.